Okay, so sorry we had some technical difficulty. It's overheating because it's very hot here today.
Start a little before and Jaya Radha, whatever you are explaining, start a little before. Start a little beforehand, whatever you are explaining.
So, anyway, we were talking about the dust of Braj. So, anyway, that Braj dust, it is mixed with the lotus foot dust of Sri Krishna. Because Krishna was walking all over this dust of Braj barefoot. Even our Sanatana Goswami, in one commentary, he says, even in Vaikuntha, the Lord is wearing slippers. But the opulence of Braj is that Krishna was walking barefoot without shoes. So this dust has been there for 5 million years, what to speak of 5,000 years. Second is Jamuna. Jamuna has been flowing here for 5 million years. No question, 5,000 is not a question. And Giriraj, in English we say, as old as the hills. So the hills have been there for 5 million years, 5,000 is nothing. So these are three original things of Braj that we have no doubt they're from 5,000 years ago. And all three have very much power for giving us Krishna Bhakti. So our picture has got Giriraj, Govardhan. Yasoda Nandana, Ma Yasoda is there. She's the emblem of maternal love for Krishna. She loves Lala so much she can't be away from, see him go out of her eyesight. In fact, every day he goes with all the cowherd boys to herd the cows. He walks down from Nandagram Palace. He goes out the gate, and Mother Yasoda comes behind. She follows him out the gate. Then he says, look Maya, it's okay, I'm with all my friends, you don't worry. And he takes her back to the gate of Nandagam. Then he goes, and again she comes behind. He said, Maya, Balaram is there. Bal we know means strength. Balaram is there. I have no fear. You have no fear. And he takes her back to the gate. Then he starts out again, she comes behind. He said, not just Balaram, but Subal. Su we know means increases even the meaning. So Subal, he's also there, very strong. 50 times he has to take her back to the gate of Nandagam before she leaves. He can leave. Yasoda Nandana, Braja Jana Ranjana, all the Brishbasis are there. And Krishna by his own lotus mouth, he said, Brishbasi Balab Sada Mida Jivan Pran. These Brishbasis more dear to me than my own life. So headed by Nanda Maharaj, all the Brishbasi, the Braja Jana Ranjana. Jamuna, again Jamuna has come. And we told, very powerful for giving us Krishna Bhakti. In fact, one time in Padma Puran, Yudhishthira Maharaj Narad Muni was talking with Yudhishthira Maharaj, and he said, this Jamuna is so powerful, so purifying, so pavitra. If anyone has never taken his bath in Jamuna, then his whole life is byart. You know byart? Byart means useless and juiceless. So what are you all going to do? You're all living in some other place where there's no Jamuna. Further, he tells Yudhishthira Maharaj that she's so powerful, even if you just remember Jamuna, all your sins will go far away, just by remembering Jamuna. So every day we sing this song, every day we remember Jamuna, every day we get our Jamuna bath sitting where it is you are in the world. Don't worry. Jamuna Tira Bana Chari. Tira we know means bank. And Ban means forest. So in Vrindavan there's 12 forests. On the eastern side of Jamuna we have Badravan, Bandirvan, Belvan, Lohavan, and Gokul Mahavan. One forest has two names, Gokul Mahavan. On the western bank we have Madhuvan, where we went before, Talavan, we'll have to go one day, Kamudvan, Bahulavan, the biggest, Vrindavan, then great big forest will go one day, Kamyavan, and then one tiny little forest, Kadiravan. 7 and 5, 12 forests of Vrindavan. So simple little song, but made in such a way, the whole picture of Vrindavan comes. Jai Radha Madhava, Kunja Bihari, Gopi Jana Balava, Giri Baradari, Yasoda Nandana, Braja Jana Ranjana, Jamuna Tira, Banachari. So yesterday we were in Vrindakund, and we hinted that Vrindakund is being served now by the devotees of ISKCON. What happened was there was one Baba Madhav Das who was wandering around Braj, and he found this place, and the Kunda was drying up, the villagers were going to plow it under, make it into a wheat field. So he thought, this is such an important place, it should be preserved. So he went to the district and got all the land records and established the boundaries, fought with all the farmers, established the boundaries, and then he built a small little temple there. And he established a very simple deity of Vrinda Devi, we described yesterday. So then he was, to his capacity, they excavated the Kunda a little bit, he built something, a little bhajan kutir there. So then somehow or other, by will of the Lord, he got cancer. So he thought, who's going to take care of this place? So he went to so many people, trying to get someone to take care of Vrindakund, because he had established the deity of Vrinda Devi there. And everyone told him the same thing, and I found out that it's not just the ISKCON mantra, it's a Sarvabhauma, universal mantra. Whenever you have some new idea, you go to your temple president or your GBC, whatever authority is there, you explain the program, and the first thing they say, no men, no money. So it's not just the ISKCON mantra, this is Sarvabhauma mantra. He went even outside of Gaudiya Sampradaya, because all the Vaishnavas, they worship Tulsi. Everybody told him same thing. Then someone told him to go see ISKCON. So that time I was temple president, this little Baba came into my room and he started describing this place. And I realized I had never been there. The road wasn't in the condition that it is now. Especially in rainy season, you couldn't pass at all. It was a muddy mess. But his two-story bhajan kutir could be seen from the road, and I used to point, oh, that's Vrinda Devi's place. But I had never been there. So as soon as I understood what he was talking about, I said, come on, Baba, let's go. We took the temple car, which was an ambassador, because in those days there was only two cars. There was Ambassador and Padmini, this Fiat. So we took the temple car, we went there, and that time it was all completely covered with these Kabuli babul, this foreign babul sticker tree, thorn tree. And I saw it as a very beautiful, peaceful place. No one was there to bother us. And tiny little brick temple was there underneath the tree we described yesterday. So I thought, this is such a sweet place to bring the devotees with no one to harass them or bother them in any way. We could sit and chant and have katha, so many things. So I told Baba, okay, we'll do the service of Vrinda Devi. And he had gotten one nice family from Nandagam to do the puja, Nandagam Brahmin. His name was Bhagwat Prasad. And many of the devotees now know Bhagwat, as he's there to serve the devotees, especially when you're on Prikrama and you're out for a long time and it's a hassle to get all the way back to get prasadam. He makes the nicest prasadam there at Vrindakund. You can talk to him and arrange ahead of time. You come there on a certain day and take prasad. And he's been serving since Baba's time, so more than 30 years. It's hard enough to find a pujari that stays for 30 days, what to speak of 30 years. So he's a very wonderful pujari, he and his family taking care of this temple. So Baba walked into, so anyway, I saw this so beautiful place. And so I told Baba, all right, we'll do the service of Vrinda Devi. And eventually Baba got worse. We brought him to the guest house to stay. We tried to cure his cancer in so many ways. And it was very sad watching him. And then there was a big problem with all his, because he never spoke about himself. It's very interesting. He spoke about Krishna, he spoke about Vrinda Devi, he never spoke about himself. But there used to be one very famous Baba named Madan Mohan Das who stayed in Barsana. Somehow we got to know Madan Mohan Das, and he told us that actually he and Baba Madan Das were disciples of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. But when trouble came, they left and they came to Braj and became Babajis. But they were very strict, not bogus Babajis. So he never told me this, I never knew. A hint was there, because when he was dying, he was always telling me, just whatever your Prabhupada says, you follow that, that is the right path. You don't worry about anybody else. Whatever Prabhupada has given you, that is the right thing. I thought there was some touch of Gaudiya Mat in him, but he never told me about this. We learned after he left this world. So then we understood that just like in Mayapur, because Prabhupada made Jagannath famous all over the world and started Rath Yatra all over the world, that Jagannath temple in Rajpur came to ISKCON. The same way Prabhupada made Vrinda Devi and Tulsi Maharani famous all over the world, so Vrindakun came for ISKCON to serve. So, and then I saw that it's such a peaceful place, because I could see Vrindavan was changing day by day. Here, I was sitting there, it was the end of the day, so during the day, it must have been May, because the sun was going down like an orange ball behind Gupta Kund, which we talked about yesterday. So when it gets a little cool, then the birds begin to sing. So we were hearing the peacocks calling, "Ew! Ew! 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 No! Cook!" And we told the other day about the meaning of the peacocks calling, "Ke-ka! Ke-ka!" But the Brishbasis, they say what the peacock is calling is, "Megao! Megao! Megao!" Meg, of course, means cloud, and ao, you must know, come. So it's very hot, so the peacocks are calling, "Megao! Come clouds, come clouds." Of course, that devotee who built the Vrindakun temple, Achyuta Prabhu from Gainesville, well, he's originally from somewhere else in America, some special place. So he told me all the peacocks are calling, "New York! New York! New York!" And the kokilas were singing. They start out very low. Then they go higher. Then they go higher. Then they start over again. Then they have another tune. Now it got hot, we're hearing the kokilas every day. Then they have another tune. Then their most famous tune goes something like, in fact, one song we sang the other day, Radharani, is called Kokila Veni. Her voice is just as sweet as the kokila. And the kokilas are very interesting because the Hindi poets, they say, this Bhagwan has got no brain. He has made the peacock with so beautiful feathers, but his voice is just a squawk. And this kokila has so sweet voice, and he's black as a crow. In fact, the ladies will get a kick out of this. The female kokila, she's really clever. She goes in the crow's nest, lays her eggs, and finished. And the crows raise the babies. And the baby kokilas, they cry more than the crows, so they get more nourishment than the crow babies. Like that. Then, there's another bird. He's got a nice starched shirt and a black jacket, and he walks around the edge of the kund with his tail going bing, 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 bing. Then he stands at one corner. This we call jalmurgi, waterfowl. And he goes, But if two of them happen to run into each other while they're walking around the Kund, then they make a sound that is practically inimitable. Quack, 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 quack. Then we have beautiful gray mourning doves. And they sing, Radhe Sham, Radhe Sham, Radhe Sham. Here in Vrindavan every day we're listening to the tapes of Prabhupada doing his nectar devotion classes in Radha Damodar. And in the background we can hear sometimes the dove calling, Radhe Sham. But around Gaur Purnima time they change their tune. Sri Gauranthanandavo, Sri Gauranthanandavo, Sri Gauranthanandavo. Then there's another bird. He's got long yellow legs, and he's black and gray and white. And they're very special also. If they will lay their eggs on low ground, that means there won't be any rain. And if they lay their eggs on high ground, it'll mean so much rain. In Brijbhasa we call it tetera, because the sound is tetera, tetera. In English, they call it killdeer, because they like to shoot things. So they hear the sound, killdeer, killdeer, killdeer. Like this, so many beautiful sounds are there. The peacocks are crying. And I thought, this is such a wonderful place. So we struggled and struggled. This year was the 17th anniversary of our temple. In 2003, we built a beautiful temple we described just in front of that tree. And we inaugurated the temple just every February. The actual date is the day before Nityananda Trayodasi, Brahadwadasi. That is the day we established the temple. And every year from Brahadwadasi for 2 weeks, we do prikamas, and one day we do a big festival with the Kalash Yatra, all the ladies carrying water pots with coconuts on top, and with a big Sankirtan party going all around Nandagam and up to the temple and back out to Brindakund. So keep that in your mind, and that February is the best weather. Neither hot nor too cold. A little bit chilly in the morning, but very pleasant during the day. So you can come for that sometime. So, following the footsteps of Baba Madhadas, we're taking nice care of Vrinda Devi, and puja and everything is going on. Even now, in this difficult time, everything is going on very nicely. So, eventually Baba Madhavdas, on the Chaitra Sukla Pratipad, which in many parts of India is considered to be the new year. He left this world. He was in the guest house, and somebody called me that Baba's leaving. And we came running, and we started chanting the morning melody. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So, and Govinda Dasi was there holding a painting that she had made of Vrinda Devi according to Baba's description. He was staring at that painting, and as soon as I started chanting, then he looked at Vrinda Devi very intensely, said Hare Krishna, and entered the eternal pastimes of Radha and Krishna. So he never got to see the new temple there. But we, nearby Gupta Kund, where according to his desire, we made a small little samadhi. So this is our little Vrinda Kund project. So, not far from...
You want to talk about the pujaris?
I did. Not far from Vrinda Kund on the way to Barsana, we have a beautiful place called Sanket. So those who know Hindi, you know Sanket means signal. So this between Nandagam and Barsana. So there, the gopis used to send signals back and forth between Nandagam and Barsana, where the leelas will be in the evening. Sometimes by shining mirrors on the sun, sometimes by colored smoke, sometimes by rainbows appearing in the sky. Anyway, anyhow, they made smoke signals back and forth, so this place became known as Sanket. And there we see a beautiful jula, a hindol, for Radha and Krishna to swing. They have beautiful swinging pastimes there. There's a big, huge Ras Mandal that somebody's building there. And just nearby the Ras Mandal is the Bhajan Kutir of Gopal Bhatta Goswami. We remember we heard about him, his self-manifested Shalagram is Radharaman. So he had a Bhajan Kutir there, just near the Ras Mandal. Then very exquisitely beautiful deities of Radha, Sanket Bihari, with Gornitai. And Lord Chaitanya has one hand up, bringing the mercy down, and one hand down like that, giving the mercy, and Nitai is standing there, just giving mercy. Either that or you could take it, Nitai is saying, what are you doing out there in that foolish material world with all this coronavirus and everything? Chalo, come back to Godhead. Maybe you can take it like that. Exquisitely beautiful deities are there, very large deities, and very exquisitely painted and very nicely taken. This is Sanket Bihari. And toward the rear of Sanket, there's underground temple of Sanket Devi. She's the Yogamaya of this place. And in the middle of the town, there's a very ancient temple with a 500-year-old deity, very beautiful deity, about this big, name